Hello,
Yeah.
hello, hello.
You got me, bro. I didn't know you were gonna do that.
That bring you back some memories?
Oh yeah, sweating my you know what's off in Miami for like 3 weeks. We were down there, man. Ooh, I thought Minnesota was rough in the summertime, man. Ooh,
No.
that was March in Miami. Man, you get out of the shower, you stay wet all day, man. Crazy.
Scott. It is.
Anyway,
Miami's rough.
Yeah, man. But it's all right. I mean, they treated us good. We shot a few videos while we were down there. And I'm sorry, did you want to formally get into the show?
No, man. It's
a free for all, so I can just interrupt whenever I want now. We don't have to worry about those people saying we're talking over each other all the time and everything. We can just talk like people.
That's right. Yeah, we're just going to just talk like people. That's how this is going to work.
All right. That's great.
Welcome to Utopia Live.
Yeah.
I'm your host, Mr. Christopher, and this is also a co-host, Mr. Michael Bland, drummer extraordinaire, man. Oh man,
indie face, man. Yes, indie face, yes.
Indie face. Man. Oh my gosh,
that's okay.
Yeah, I saw that Baron3121 had posted that, and I said, "Oh, I gotta play, I gotta share that clip." Oh my God.
That was when we were doing this sort of like simulcast thing where that show was actually being simulcast at the Glam Slam in Minnesota, in Minneapolis. We were playing in Miami, but the whole thing was being, everybody in Minneapolis was able to watch it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was we did whatever, we tried everything, man.
I was actually surprised because for those that don't recognize or that maybe not very musically inclined, that was actually a very nice tribute, obviously, to Santana, whose birthday was literally just 2 days ago.
All right.
And I don't know why it's not letting me add this to the stage. This is kind of weird. That's not. There it goes. Sorry. Geez. All right. And so, so it was Santana's birthday, the 20th, just 2 days ago. So, so I kind of figured that was a little bit apropos that we have an opportunity to play. So we don't have to worry about any type of trademark issues or copyright issues in that regard, because he's playing Santana music.
Yeah.
And that's never been. Yeah, it's been really, really cool to actually see all the new stuff that's popping up. Because I remember when, obviously, when Prince was with us, he was going hard on removing stuff from the internet.
He didn't want anybody seeing anything.
It was just like everything. Yeah, everything was just kind of just strapped down. But then right after he died, it was like all that was gone, and it was the Wild West. I mean, just the stuff that was appearing online was like, God dang, that's crazy.
Well, there's nothing like denying people to build up anticipation. So
right, exactly. Yeah, Elena says, don't forget to get your tickets for Sign of the Times back in theaters August 28th. And we had talked about this last week. We had actually mentioned the fact that it's coming to IMAX, and that really the estate really didn't have too much to do with it other than, obviously owning the IP. And this was actually something that was being done through Film Rise, I guess is the name of the company. But I don't, I don't know what's what, but I can tell you that the Prince account has now officially posted it. So even though it's August 29th, actually. And I guess there it is.
We shall receive sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's really, really cool that they've actually taken the opportunity to say, hey, I mean, we don't have to pay for it. We don't have to put the movies in the theaters. We don't have to do anything. And if anything, they probably have to pay us. I don't know how that works. But literally it's just free marketing. It literally is.
Absolutely. I mean,
and then you rehash all the Sign of the Times merch, and I mean, here we go.
Take advantage. You've been set up.
Carrie says I have my tickets for the 28th. Now, this typically happens. The 29th is probably, if I look at the calendar, the 29th is probably a Friday. It is. So the 29th is a Friday, and this happens with all movies that are on that come out on Fridays, that you can actually get tickets the night before on Thursday. I don't know what that's. So yeah, you probably do have tickets for the 28th. but it doesn't officially open until the 29th. But they do that with everything, Marvel movies and everything. So
I see.
yeah. Man, what a I don't know. There's like a couple things we probably should talk about. This is when we do free for alls. There's no pre-show. It's just whatever. We're just gonna just sit here and just kind of talk about everything.
Yeah.
But I do want to. Gosh, I don't know if I should go into this. It's kind of early for this. We're going to talk about the Revelation thing, but that's not what we're going to talk about now.
Can I mention something before you get into what you're about to get into?
Sure, let's do it.
Only because it's kind of a sequitur behind that Santana clip. It's ironic that you would play that clip, because I was sitting thinking the other day, I read somebody made a comment about Prince's guitar playing. And I think it was somebody had posted somebody was doing like a composite, like they were soloing like guitar tracks from Let's Go Crazy or something.
Right.
And the solo they had was the wrong solo. I mean, it wasn't the right edit. I know that solo like the back of my, like back of my hand. It's not the right sequence of events. But somebody in the comments got into something about, well, that's why really when it comes to serious guitar players, Prince really wasn't this, that, or the other thing. And I was thinking the other day, and it made me hostile because maybe to some conventional dude who thinks Joe Satriani or Steve Vai or Clapton or one of these iconic guitar players is their standard, that's great. If you're one of those guitar enthusiast type dudes, that's fine, fantastic, and wonderful, man, for you to judge Prince based on this other scale. But what he did do that they could not do was build such an interesting landscape for his own guitar playing. And then he played stuff they would never play. I mean, you know what I mean? Right. It's like, if you don't understand Prince's music, then you really don't understand his sense of harmonic extinction, or just extinction, but extension. I'm sorry. Yeah. I got too much stuff going on in my head.
Yeah, I hear you.
But that's what I'm saying. You want to judge Prince in that context, that's great. But when you start talking about Prince and the context he built for himself, it's like you can't even. He was so different. Mm-hmm. He was so different. You don't judge his guitar playing by how those guys play. You judge his guitar playing by how he reacts to his own composition.
Right.
The content of his solos and the notes that he chooses, Right. Whereas if you're talking about Clapton, he's going to play the blues, and that's great. Technically probably precise, and I can understand what's going on there. Even somebody like Steve Vai, who's incredible. But this dude came out, he drove his tour bus into the parking lot of Paisley to come jam with Prince. Me and Sonny ended up jamming with him, but Prince was being Prince somewhere.
Who did?
Steve Vai.
Oh, Steve Vai. So go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, he was going on and on about Prince. Like some of these dudes, like some of your idols, dude, they bowed down. You got a problem. Mm-hmm. You got a problem.
Yep.
You don't understand what's going on, so you don't know how to judge it. I just needed to get that,
Well, I just created a last week. I can't remember who the gentleman's name was, but there was somebody. I can look it up, obviously, but I got that Etch-a-Sketch brain thing going on. There was somebody who was saying, "Do you have a playlist of I said I have a playlist of guitar stuff, like some of his best guitar work," and I did actually kind of build out a little bit more of a playlist. I just kind of put a bunch of songs into a Prince's guitar work playlist. Like if you want some of your guitar friends to really appreciate his guitar work, I actually created a playlist. And if you go to funkatopia.com/guitar, it will take you directly to that Spotify playlist that's got all of his best guitar songs in there. Stuff that's, some of it's acoustic guitar, but some of it is, you're going to be able to see the breadth of his work, which is,
but
pretty
here's
phenomenal.
The thing. I can appreciate that, but the best of Prince's work is always hidden. It's always hard to hear because he was not the type of person to he was thinking on the macro level, not the micro level. He's seeing the big picture when he's playing guitar and how it works within the framework, you know. So I mean,
Yeah.
other than the fact that he was as a rhythm guitar player, unmatched, you know. I mean, you know, like on Tony Maiden's level, like on the greatest like rhythm guitar players
Mhm.
of all time level.
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
that was just, he was just natural with it. That's all over his work everywhere. Just how he played rhythm, you
Yeah, it's
know.
just like breathing. He's just sitting in the pocket. It's
Yeah.
just like breathing. It's
And
like,
and his sense of time is like, it's got the snap to it. Now you
mhm.
can't, you have to be shown that. Maybe I imagine that that's how he showed. You know, I don't play guitar. I play a little bit of bass, but I wouldn't have had this discussion with him about where the guitars would sit in time. You know,
Yeah.
but it's how he plays. So I know everybody else probably had to think of it that way. Like there's a like a last minute sort of like a little grab to it, man. Like these cats, they don't know what they're listening to, you know.
Yeah.
And then can I just add this, that
Sure.
I know it's a
Yeah, absolutely.
I know it was supposed to be, oh, now I see Prince is a great guitar player with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and everything. But the truth is, man, I felt bad. That really made me upset. Because first off, who are you to judge him?
Yeah.
Prince, you know what I mean? It's like, and I thought to myself, if I could have got to Prince before, I would have said, you don't have a thing to prove, man. You've been bad for a long, long time, man. Nobody, you don't have to do this. I felt like he was like I feel like Prince always had something to prove. But as far as his prowess as a musician, I felt like he, you know, like it kind of like he was really, you know, kind of on a small like promotional you know,
Yeah.
tip. Like, I need my respect. Like, who cares what Rolling Stone says, man? Anybody who's bothering to listen knows the truth. You know, I just felt like that was a moment where I felt like he came down to a mortal level, you know, and I wish I could have said something or done something to raise him up and say, don't do that. You're definitely better than that. And we already know you can smoke anybody on the stage. He didn't have to do it, man. It was a vulgar display of power. And I really feel like somebody had told me that he tried to get that clip taken off the internet. And I think he probably ultimately ended up feeling the same way after he looked at it. Like, why did I lash out like that? You
Yeah.
know?
I don't know.
I know.
He may have. I kind of feel like it definitely was a hold my beer moment. That was, in my opinion, it was like, you know, just like, yeah, all right, that's what you got to say. All right, it's just, you know,
I got it.
I ain't
Man.
gonna bite.
I know what it means to the people.
Oh yeah,
But for me being so close, I'm like, man, you didn't have to do it. But maybe he did. Apparently, he did have to do it because he did it.
he did it. He definitely did it.
I ain't gonna bite you. I just want you to hang on.
Who's that?
That's from Ohio players. I mean,
Oh.
I ain't gonna bite you. I just want you to hang on.
That's from Slide. I actually stemmed it out. I stemmed it out so it's just his vocals.
All right. I was gonna say, how did you get that?
I've been going stem crazy, just kind of, but it happened again. I was listening to last week we played that backwards guitar track from Shortberry Straw Cake. Yes, Shortberry Straw Cake.
Yes, I got it now.
And the guitar was, for those that didn't tune in last week, if you listen to Sheila E.'s Shortberry Straw Cake, and you actually is Prince playing guitar, but it's backtracked. And on top of that, he's also talking through a vocoder through that as well. And we kind of stemmed it out and kind of played it. And then just a few days ago, I was out walking the dogs and I had the headphones in, and I have these Status headphones, and Status Audio makes these headphones that are just ridiculous. There's 3 speakers in each, and they're not expensive. They're less expensive than friggin' Apple's.
Okay.
But there's high, mids, and lows in each ear, and it makes hearing things just crazy. And Pheromone came on, which everybody obviously knows this song. And again, it was one of these songs that it was separated out with these headphones, and I heard his voice in the background going to Pheromone. It was just, I couldn't hear what he was saying, and I said, "Oh shit!" I said, "I have to stem this song and figure out what he's saying."
Oh, great! You're one of the very few people who knows what he was saying.
Well, no, and I actually put it into the I put it into like 4 different stem splitters, and none of them would take that stem away from the vocal, It like merged it with the vocal. It wouldn't separate it.
Are you talking about that pheromone?
Yeah, yes.
I want to die. That thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, and for those who haven't heard it, here's 16 seconds of it. It's the vocal track stemmed out, but it's also got that buzz that's going in the background that you may or may not have ever heard. But here's a little taste of that.
O is for obsession. V is for the fast way to envelop my soul. This is crazy. This is crazy. I could die in the pheromone. I can see the castle.
It's just that, but that's like going on like a lot through the whole song. But
we played it a couple of times, and so we had the samples for that. And so I've known for a very long time what he was saying about pheromone make an N-word go crazy, pheromone make an N-word don't want to die. I think is what he's saying.
Is it really?
Yeah. I didn't hear that in the mix, and I went back and listened like, oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, it is. It's just kind
we
of
had it way out without the effects on it or anything. It's like,
it's like layered in the background. It's like, okay.
For good reason.
Yes, I see. I guess so. Yeah,
I see.
So,
oh man.
Franklin said, "No, I did. Did you see where I posted the full song in reverse? No, I did not. But yeah, I mean, I had already had the whole entire song in reverse, but there's not a whole bunch going on there. It's only pieces of it that kind of fade in and out with the guitar work and vocoder stuff on Short Bear Straw Cake. But with Pheromone, yeah, that little, I would love to. It's nice to know that it gives me a little bit more insight as to what's there. Probably was good that I wasn't able to stem that out because I probably wouldn't have been able to play it.
I don't know. There's some very interesting lyrics in that song in general.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the whole thing about his eye, her eyes are closed, but there's no penetration. Something. I was like, okay, Prince.
Yeah,
I'm gonna stop reading right now.
And some other funny news that are not, it's non-Prince related. Well, I was gonna start talking about something, but I just kind of want to keep it light just for a second. For the who's been under a rock and did not see the couple that got caught in an affair at the Coldplay concert. How many people have seen that or have not seen that? Michael, have you seen this?
Yeah, my wife actually just asked me about it about half hour ago. She said, "You did see that Jumbotron footage of that guy and his
So there's a company called Astronomer. I don't really know much what they do, but this is the CEO of this company called Astronomer, and he's having an affair with, of all people, the HR director of
All right.
of this
All
company,
right.
That's a whole nother level of, oh dang. But anyway, so I guess they happen to be going on a date to this Coldplay concert, and then this happened.
What we'd like to do is say hello to some of you. The way we're going to do that is using our cameras. So if you look at the screens, we're going to be looking and see who's out there to say hello to. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy. I'm not quite sure what to do. Give me a drunk on you? Okay, all right.
That's
What's that?
First off,
Chris Martin called him right out.
First off, the fact that you could see where they are. They're standing up, so they're like all the way up in the bleachers, like that top row type of thing, where there's nobody's gonna see us up here. We're this is nosebleed, and it was unbelievable. And of course, the fact that that happened so randomly almost makes me believe that it was not so random, but it was just hilarious. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, you think the Jumbotron dude recognized? He's like, let's go ahead and put him out there, put him on Front Street. I mean, what I heard is that not only did he get fired, but like his wife like legally changed her name and took his name off her name like the next day. Like she started moving like the paperwork.
It was on Facebook, I think, or something, whatever socials. She took her last name off, and no, he actually they made him step down, but then he turned around and resigned like a couple of days later. But what's even crazier, if you go online and you obviously you go down a rabbit hole, they have the letter that he wrote, kind of saying, I acted inappropriately, and it was like, the company deserves better, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But then about 3 paragraphs in, he decides, but you know what, people are putting it, I think it's kind of unfair that people put their private stuff out, on public display, and it's like,
you're at the show, you're at the concert, this is public.
Do you read? I got like a bunch of ticket stubs over here. I can turn over every single one of these ticket stubs and tell you what it says on the background. The back. This is like, you're just, man, that was wow. Hilarious. That's pretty crazy.
No, it's you think you should have said, yeah, I did it. Just admit it and keep moving, man. I mean, what?
Yeah, that was too much. That really, really was too much. It was pretty good.
Well.
I thought it was hilarious because I was like,
you don't take the side piece to the show.
Well, and the way that everybody's kind of latching onto it and has got so viral is hilarious. I wish I would have grabbed this clip, but there's a clip of the Philadelphia, the Phillies were playing the baseball game, and they did one of those kiss cams, and they were like going through the crowd, and then they had this all set up where the Philly Fanatic and the female version of the Philly Fanatic were in the same exact position when they put the camera on them. So they had like, they were in their costumes, and they did the same thing where they were hiding.
Okay.
It like went totally viral. It's yeah. I feel bad for the dude, but I don't feel bad for the dude because he
don't feel bad. He don't feel bad, man.
Yeah, but I mean that I don't know how much he lost in this, but it's a lot. It's a lot.
You cheat on your wife with the HR department head.
Yeah,
you lose. That's you, man. He lost twice.
Yeah, that's just crazy. But other crazy news. Rest in peace to Malcolm Jamal Warner, man. Yeah. I mean, that's this is kind of crazy in itself because he's like 2 years younger than we are. And he is like, I mean, first up, I've always found it difficult to kind of watch his acting career now because now, he was on, was it The Resident? I think it was The Resident, where he was a doctor on one of the show that we used to watch all the time. It's been a while, but he's got this really, really deep over the top voice. And when you compare it to the squeaky voice that he had,
Phil Huxtable,
it was like, oh my gosh, it's just, so it made it a little bit tough to watch. It's like, are you really forcing that? I guess you are. But anyways, it's just shocker. He got caught up in a riptide down in Costa Rica with his family, and he had his wife and his 8-year-old girl there. I guess they're okay, but he passed away. I guess he had asphyxiated and he got caught up in the riptide. And then when you're just kind of getting over that and just trying to get your head wrapped around something like that, then they announced that Ozzy Osbourne died.
Yes, but talk about going out on top. Didn't they raise like $200 million for like Children's Hospital or something?
It's unreal. See, you and I talked a little bit about this because the timing of this huge event that was filmed in Birmingham, England, there was like 45,000 people there. 45,000. And gosh, there's another thing I didn't have. I didn't get that group shot of all the that were in there where Ozzy's sitting in the middle, and you've got Metallica, and you've got, Tool, and you've got Pantera, and you've got all the legends of heavy metal all around him, in which they had to have taken like 100 different shots, because
Yeah.
the fact that group shot that they had of them, I wish I would have had it here to show, is just so iconic. And that concert was unbelievable. And I think what was really strange about it is that I saw this clip today that somebody had posted, and I guess it was like an official post of him performing the entirety of Mama, I'm Coming Home. And people everywhere in this audience were like sobbing.
Oh yeah.
And I know that they I heard somebody said there was a rumor that he went to Switzerland for an assisted suicide or something, and I was just like, I need to see where you saw that. But the timing of this, we talked about this, the timing of this was just so crazy legendary. I mean, the fact that he was able to do that show that it was, and to have all of those people from all of those generations of metal bands that just descended just to kind of show their gratitude, like they were coming to say goodbye.
Yeah.
And then for him to die, just shortly after is just, it was just, I don't know. The timing of that was really, just suspicious to me. But anyways, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I mean, this guy, I mean, we grew up in the same era. So, when back in his heyday, and especially even in the 80s, the Blizzard of Oz and all that stuff. I mean,
listen, I remember being at like the Kmart, like going for the blue lights, going to the record section and picking up Black Sabbath, that first record.
Oh, that first one.
That cover scared the crap out of me, man. I'm like, is it a witch? Why are they in the woods? What's that shack? I'm frightened. I put it back and I wouldn't find my mom, man. Woo! Black Sabbath, man. I love Black Sabbath. Like I figured it out later on. Like I figured out what it was that really, what they really had, and it's like, it's real power, like that riff heavy rock type thing. That's them. They were the first to really do that, where the bass player and the guitar player are like, give you that, it's, oh man.
That earth. Yeah. I mean, it was just the ability to capture that. I mean, and you and I both also have some parallels too about, growing up in the church and growing up with that underneath that Christian umbrella where, there's all that, mystique around them and AC/DC and
the evil
and the evil. And
how much of this is like a show? How much of it is real?
Kiss is Knights in Satan's Service. That's what that stands for. It's like, oh my word, because you had all that, and it was just like, okay, all right.
Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil, all that.
Oh yeah, that was absolutely. And
Dio, Holy Diver, man.
AC/DC, Hell's Bells.
If You Want Blood, Highway to Hell, all of that.
Oh yeah, it was a lot.
So as a young Christian, you really feel like it's like, like you're dabbling with something you shouldn't.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, and Elena says he ate a bat. Well, this story's been told. The story's been told many times.
I can't believe you're gonna explain now.
No, he didn't explain it, but he thought he didn't think it was fake.
You gotta explain this to Alana, because she clearly doesn't know.
Well, the version I heard was that it was thrown on stage and it wasn't flying or anything, and he thought it was fake, so he was kind of being theatrical, and so he grabbed it and he bit the head off.
Yeah, he just bit the head off. I don't think he swallowed it or anything.
No, he didn't swallow it. And then he realized, oh shit,
that was real.
Next thing you know, he's just like, all right, we're gonna go with this. I mean, again, we were talking about all the crazy stories pre-internet that you heard, like that one that kind of had a legend of its own. And we tapped on the Rod Stewart thing, that the stories that kind of have they have a legend all its own. And there was also ones with Alice Cooper where where we crapped on the stage, and then it was just like, what? So all these stories that kind of just, you'd have no idea, and unless you were there, you wouldn't know if they were true or not. And it's just like, it's insanity. It's insanity. Yeah. So it's just, But yeah, Ozzy had lots of spectacles and lots, and he loved to embrace it because and it was a perfect time for him because of how the Christian wing was so, I mean, that was their target. I mean, evil music was their target, and the backmasking and all that stuff, that was like such a hardcore focus for them. And he embraced it, and he made sure that he had every single opportunity to give them a reason to be upset. It's just like, all right, fine, well, let's run with this. And that's what Motley Crue did, and that's what DC did, and they were just like, let's go, let's run with this.
But if you talk to Black Sabbath, because I saw a few interviews along the way where they're like, we're not devil worshipers. This is like, like the thing that ate Memphis, Tennessee. It's like it was like campy to them. They were like, it was a riff on scary movies, really.
Right.
That's at least that's what they seem to be saying. Plus, Bill Ward is a funky drummer, man. Man. Woo! I couldn't appreciate him in the shadow of John Bonham. Everybody sounds average. But when I finally started like differentiating and listening to cats for how they were different, Bill Ward was bad, man.
Mm-hmm.
Bad
Absolutely.
dude. Yeah.
Yes, there's so many let's talk about it. I mean, let's talk about, this wasn't even on the list, but let's talk about heavy metal drummers. Among the heavy metal drummers out there, who is some of your, or even like hard rock or heavy metal drummers, who's some of your favorites?
Listen, I think Tommy Lee Rates, I think he gets a bad rap. I think he's a really great drummer. Yeah, of course, the Appice brothers, Vinny and Carmine Appice, both killer, man. Somebody else is going to come along. I knew somebody was going to bring up Ginger Baker.
Of course.
He's such a fuss.
Not really metal.
He's so fussy, man. I don't really want to mess with him, man. Bobby Rondinelli was a bad guy. He played in Rainbow. He played in Quiet Riot. Wow. Who else do we have? I bet Kurt from the Electric Vibe is, Cozy Powell. Yes, Cozy Powell. Kurt, absolutely.
Yeah, John Bonham, without a doubt. Yes.
Yeah, Tommy Aldrich, without question, man. One of the baddest, nicest guy you ever want to meet, man. So I mean, yes, I listen to everybody,
Yeah, that's Karen Carpenter. She's my favorite metal drummer of all.
I tell you who really had it, man. Phil Rudd from AC/DC. That dude, that Phil Rudd was playing those toms that just with the thud. You hit those toms, they were just low and juicy and
no matter what you say, AC/DC is funky as they are so funky. And it's like even the hardest stuff. I mean, like just Back in Black has just got that. It's just that they have AC/DC has so
it's
much
rhythm and blues. It's rhythm and blues with a distortion box. Prince loved AC/DC, man.
Yeah. AC/DC is just bad to the bone. They're just one of those bands, man. It's like
Neil's not a metal drummer. Sorry, Becky.
Yeah, true. Oh, I did say hard rock too, and then some. When they're really hard rock either. They're more progressive rock.
Neil is not in this pool. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Also,
neither is Travis Barker. Sorry, I can't give it to him. We're talking about the heavyweights, man.
Here's another thing that you may or may not know. 51 years ago.
Oh boy. That's a big one, man. You're gonna start talking about Stevie, I'm gonna cry. What
today, 51 years ago today, is this album was released, which is just crazy to me because I think of all the songs that are on this. You Haven't Done Nothing.
All of it. Smile, Please, Bird of Beauty.
Every single song. Creeping. Yeah.
Yes.
This was
you said You Haven't Done Nothing. They Won't Go When I Go. Are you kidding me, man?
They won't go when I go. Come on.
So many, man.
Yeah, it is. So you had to I had to give a nod to this album because this is one of my favorite albums for sure. That little 5 album. I mean, Prince had that too, where it was just like master. It was like there was still amazing albums outside of either one, but there's like certain. It's like, man,
you know what though? Prince didn't have the same competition though.
Right.
Like Stevie was competing with his label mates. He was competing with Marvin. he was competing with, you know,
Donny
And-
Hathaway and all those guys.
yeah, his
Oh, yeah.
contemporaries. Yes, his contemporaries were different than Prince's contemporaries. Prince had some good ones, but you know, if you talk about Stevie Wonder and Marvin Gaye, you can't say the same with Prince and Bruce Springsteen. It ain't the same comparison.
No.
It's not the same arena either.
That's a little bit interesting too that you say that, because I'm trying to think who would have been his contemporaries. And don't anybody in here say Michael Jackson. I'm just don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. I'm talking about actual. I'm not taking anything away from Michael. Michael is amazing. But
but you're talking about, and I wonder if Sananda Maitreya, also known as Terrence Trent D'Arby, came too late to qualify. Because by 85, 86, Prince was already on his trajectory. Like,
well, and
I'm giving it to you.
They were searching for somebody to kind of, all the labels were trying to find their somebody.
You know what? But in a way, I would say George Michael.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people realize the songwriting skills that George Michael had. He wasn't just one of these, cute boys that knew how to sing and bounce around. He was actually a really good songwriter, and he actually wrote a lot of the hits, and he played them out.
Yes,
but you rarely saw him play an instrument. And when you did, like when you saw the Faith video, you thought, oh, he's faking it with the guitar. He's just dancing with the guitar. No,
he was an actual musician. Yes,
he was an actual musician.
People don't know that. That's what I'm saying. They slept on George, and I'll say this, and just because we're interested in being transparent.
Sure.
Prince actually showed me why Madonna was so kind of ingenious, because he knew I wasn't a fan, and he was like, hey, listen, he's like, you need to really understand something about her. Every song that Madonna records, she is co-written. She knows music. She don't really play instruments. She wasn't playing guitar yet, but Prince said she doesn't play any instruments, but I've written with her, and I'll start playing some chords, and she'll say, nope, that's not the chord. That's not the right one. He said, and then Prince said he would sit and he would play some variations, and she'd say, that one, that's the chord that should come next. Like, she knew what she was looking for, and she was a pretty strong lyricist, and she kind of counts as a contemporary. She had more help than he did, but everybody had more help than Prince, because Prince didn't need it, you know. But I did hear that George Michael recorded and played all the instruments on was it Last Christmas I gave you my, I heard he played everything on that track.
He did. Yeah, he had actually, matter of fact, there is a documentary. I'm not sure if it's on Amazon Prime or where I saw it, but there was a documentary on Wham, and he was talking about that song, or they were talking about how he put that song together and how he had pretty much, I guess, Andrew originally said that he had come to him and had that whole song written, and he says, I came up with this. I think there's something here. And Andrew heard and was like, oh, what? Okay.
What is that? That's
right.
Yes. It's an anthem is what it is. That song is incredible.
It's legendary.
George Michael was incredible.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sting. Yeah, I see Sting. I love Sting. And let me just say, Sting stuff with the Police, and even the first couple albums that he had, but then once you started kind of getting to, I don't know what happened. Something kind of switched up. I'm not saying that his talent went anywhere, but
his focus did, though. He went elsewhere.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the what's the stuff that you take,
which stuff?
Ayahuasca, is that what it's called?
Oh, like he took some like hallucinogenics, some natural.
Matter of fact, in his book, which here it is. This book right here, Sting, Broken Music, he talks about the ayahuasca trip that he took in the first like 10 pages of this book. And it was just like, that it coincides with that stop, that hard stop that he had where he was just like hit. And then he kind of went off on this, he kind of went somewhere else. I still think he's an amazing musician, and I there's nobody like him, but I think some people some people do ayahuasca and they, it opens up all types of brand new worlds for them. But then also I think I think people just don't know how to, I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I can't imagine doing anything like that where you lose total control of yourself. I can't do that. But yeah, Sting is great. Let's leave it like that.
Yes, Sting is great, and I think he's I don't know if I would necessarily consider him a Prince contemporary. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but see, and that's the thing. That's one of the things I've always said is that, there were artists out there that probably could have rivaled him, but were never given a chance. And we don't know who they are, because when you look at everybody that was out on the radio at that time, I mean, you could, no matter who you think of, all the way down to Robert Smith with The Cure, because he wrote a lot of stuff. And, but there's just nobody that was able to do everything so well, and not just do everything so well and create a guide tape for somebody else to kind of come in and play. And this is the idea, play it better. He would release it just as he had done it, and it would be, I can't think of anybody else that did what he did. And that's the reason why I wanted to remove Michael Jackson from this. I think Michael Jackson is a freaking genius. He's an amazing performer. He's an amazing singer. He's an amazing writer. He's an amazing dancer. I'm not taking anything away from him, but he didn't play any instruments other than tinkering around here and there. And he certainly wouldn't have been able to create music completely on his own. He may have had ideas in his head, and he did. And he was able, you play this, you play that. And for that very reason alone, that is why I take him out of that mix. We're trying to find somebody who is comparable to all the capabilities and all the talent that Prince brought to the table. And I can't think of anybody.
I'll tell you this. I think in a way, Peter Gabriel.
That's true. But,
I mean, because of the technological, like he was kind of at the forefront of like the digital revolution in music. He had the Synclaviers, he had the Fairlights, he had all of that.
Yeah.
And Kate Bush even. But I mean, I don't know if I'd call Peter Gabriel a pop star. Is he?
I mean, outside of the album So, and he happened to be in the right place at the right time with the video for Shock the Monkey when the album Security came out, because at the time MTV was scrambling for music videos.
Sure.
And Peter Gabriel had Shock the Monkey.
Sure.
In the tank already, just because of the multimedia guy that he already was. And I don't know, a lot of people don't know this about Peter Gabriel. But anyways, before I spin away from that, Shock the Monkey was on constant rotation on MTV. Like you could not friggin' escape that. And then of course, obviously when So came out, it was, I mean, he had Sledgehammer and all the songs and all the songs that were on So, but he's like Thomas Dolby in that regard. It's just like he kind of goes and he's a brilliant person that kind of sits in the back. And he has a studio in,
it's in Bath, England. Yeah.
It's in Bath, England. And it is like the top of the line. Like they are trying to push the boundaries of sound and figure out where else to go. It's like a whole, it's designed to push the limitations of what you know.
I believe it's called Real World Studios.
That's what you're right.
I almost visited. I almost got a chance to visit.
Peter, and when Security came out, that album was in my Walkman.
Me too.
On rotation.
Yes.
I mean, with the family and the fishing net and
dude.
Shake those hands, shake those hands, shake. I mean, it's like all that stuff, man. That was such a great album.
The other thing is that he was also using the Lynn machine. He was also using the Oberheim keyboards.
Yes.
So I'm saying there's are the places where I'm saying we already talked about Stevie Wonder, dude. Sorry.
Yeah.
Stevie Wonder is in the graduating class. We're talking about Prince. We're talking about 80 to 90, more or less.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Stevie Wonder absolutely was, Prince was pretty much like the carbon copy of what Stevie Wonder was doing.
Yeah,
If
just
they,
in a different time.
if they
and
were
space.
from, if they were from the same generation, and it's funny that you say that because Prince regularly said in his lyrics, well, not regularly said, but he said in that song, I should have been born on the Woodstock stage. I'm glad that he wasn't born on the Woodstock stage because he would have been competing with Stevie Wonder, and he would have been competing with Donny Hathaway, and he would have been competing with Marvin Gaye. He would have been competing with all of those guys, and he would have been buried in the mix. But because of the fact that he was born 10 years too late outside of that Woodstock stage, for that very friggin' reason is why we hold Prince in such high regard, because he was born in an era where there was nothing that was even comparable to what he was doing as far as the level of talent and the quality of the music that he put out. It's unmatched and unrivaled. And that it went that way for a very, very specific reason. And
yes, absolutely. I agree
100%.
100%. People are coming up with a lot of names, but those aren't superstars. I'm sorry. Mark Knopfler is not a superstar. Right. Maurice White, he's an icon, but I don't know if he's a superstar. David Byrne, again, iconic, yes. Superstar.
Right, and good point. Could also be competing with Jimi Hendrix, and he just said competing with Jimi Hendrix.
And directly, and Santana.
Free Tech, you brought up Maurice White. Again, Maurice White was before Prince.
We're not talking 70s, we're talking 80s.
Yeah, so there was just nothing out there. I mean, and I think that the other thing too was that, with the 80s, we were coming out of the late 70s. I'm preaching to the choir. I mean, you and I were like this. But when you're coming out of the 70s with the punk element, and we're kind of dipping into like new wave here, classic rock is kind of like fizzling out. And then disco was is fizzling out. And here was this guy who was able to take all those pieces from new wave and everything else. And we talked about this in the show because Prince was really close to a lot of people that nobody knew. Prince liked The Fix. Prince was very close with Gary Newman in Cars. He was very close to a lot of people in the new wave field, and that's kind of how he presented himself. Starting at the third album, he seemed to be very, very focused on, here's what I can do. Let me show you my songwriting skills in his first couple of albums but I think that then, Dirty Mind happened. It was just like a switch went off.
Yes. And that's exactly what it was. You're right.
And he was just like, I'm going to do something a little bit different here. And I'm going to be pulling elements from this. And he was able to, tap into all these outlets, man. It was pretty incredible. And thank God he did.
Story Matt Fink told me about, I think it might have been maybe the first time he went to Prince's house. He said there's just vinyl on the floor everywhere. Was a stereo and just records, just like no particular genre, just records, just vinyl laid out. He'd just be listening constantly.
Yeah, it's just, and you guys keep naming people that were not his contemporaries. Bowie was not.
Bowie started in 68, 69 or something. It's like he's not.
Now Rogers was in the 70s with and all that.
And of David Bowie's own admittance, he said that he thought that Let's Dance was going to be a complete failure. He said he was fighting a mental block the entire time they were working on that record. He expected that to just go right into the toilet. So he wasn't even looking for it to be that popular in the 80s. He's fortunate, really,
Man, that's just but yeah, so the thing about it is that that's the reason why we always get kind of pulled into discussing Prince, because there's nothing comparable that's out there. And
I mean, somebody did. Kurt did mention Todd Rundgren. I agree. Todd Rundgren is incredible, but he was not a superstar. I think he fought it. I really think that he fought success. Like, some of his records are so strange, but they're magical. But I really don't think he wanted to be that guy.
I think, a lot of people miss some of Todd, when people get wrapped up with "Hello, it's me," they don't
missing the point completely.
You want to get an idea of just some of the genius that gets switched on. He's got an album called Acapella.
I love that record.
That is unfriggin' real. There's no instrumentation on the album other than his voice, and when he does use his voice, he's using it. He puts it through different modulators to make them sound like instruments. So there's like songs like Lockjaw and just unfriggin' real.
And he covers Mighty Love by the Spinners.
Yeah,
he covers Mighty Love. A Lost Horizon, I think, is my jam on that record.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. What is the slow song?
Pretending to Care.
Oh, Pretending to Care is probably,
yes.
Every time I hear that song, I get choked up because it is probably one of the most intense love songs that you will ever hear. And it's talking about, if he was to lose his sight, would you still be there, or would you be pretending to care? Would you even, it is one of the most intense love songs that you'll hear. And again, it's called Pretending to Care. It's off of Todd Rundgren's a cappella album, but that whole album is just him and his voice. That's it.
Yeah. I think there may have been some sampling involved in it. Like some like technological trickery, I think, was used a little bit. Yeah. Some of that stuff's so tight. It's like, man.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute now.
Well, what's the one where, because there's a song on that album where it's obvious that he's just not using his voice. He's also doing other things too. Like what's the song with the chicka 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 chicka? Is that, I can't remember that. That's
something to fall back on?
Is that what it? I think
I'm not sure.
It is.
But that was also a cover.
Yeah. I mean, so anyways, there are so many amazing artists out there, and we're not going to apologize again. We told you we're music heads and we're going to be doing this every now and then.
Yeah, plus this is a free for all. So if you really don't want to hang out, that's all right.
Yeah.
But, let me just address Revolution 86. Dez introduced Prince to like the Cars. If you want to call the Cars new wave, that's fine. But Prince found like Ultravox and Television and like Pere Ubu and Gang of Four and all that through Steve Fargnoli, is what he told me. He said my manager was constantly listening to all this new wave music, and I started paying attention.
I think that style of music at the time where he was, also matched his energy too. Yeah, I think that was something that he was easily able to fall into with that frenetic type of. He just I like this spot.
Yeah, the quick synapses and
exactly.
It feels alive and electric. Yeah, that was very much him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody and it's my bad that I did not bring this up earlier, but it's also somebody's birthday today. The one and only Mr. George Clinton. His birthday is today. Wow. the legend himself, born this day, 1941. So that makes him 84. 84. That makes him 84.
I was at rehearsal with Soul Asylum last night. We have some shows coming up in Illinois and Wisconsin this week. And somebody brought up George Clinton. I'm like, man, we were talking about how all these people have been dying, like in a row. And first off, it may be in poor taste, but it's a free for all. I don't care.
Yeah, sorry.
Dave Perner says, what happened to Malcolm Jamal Warner? I said, they said it was an accidental drowning. He said, well, aren't all drownings accidental? I said, Dave, there's such a thing as concrete shoes and chains and whatnot. Some drownings are intentional. Anyway, yeah.
So good.
Said, well, George Clinton is still walking on. I said, when it's all over, it'll be just George Clinton and the Roaches, and he'll be teaching them how to play instruments to start a band.
Yeah, well, he'll have Keith Richards as his guitarist.
Yeah, it'll be him and Keith will start a band with a bunch of Roaches. My goodness.
Yeah, it's his birthday today. And of course, when I was trying to find pictures of George to kind of put up with the post earlier today, I did happen to stumble across the one of me and George backstage. And yes, you can look in the eyes. You can look in the eyes and you can tell where we were.
You're funny, man.
Yeah. So there's me and George backstage. I can't remember where this was. I think this was Sweetwater Music Fest. And I've told this story like many times on the show, so I'm not going to do it again. But let's just put it this way: the purpose of me going backstage was to interview George, and everybody in Parliament Funkadelic was back there in this single wide trailer smoking.
So you caught a contact, is what you're trying to tell me.
I had the recorder in my pocket, and I was just like, oh, it's got to find the right moment, and it didn't seem like the moment was ever going to come. And it looks like I'm going to end up telling the story again, but it didn't look like the moment was ever going to come, because I was just like, because everybody's coming up to go, great show, man, great show, George, and I'm sitting in a chair, and George is sitting right next to me, and I said, the moment is just getting away, and it's getting late, and it's,
and you're getting high.
It's after 2, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna just have to just mark this up to just, which is not gonna happen. And that's when I leaned over into George's ear, and I said, I'm gonna go, man. And he just quietly leaned over my ear and went, pussy.
Oh.
And
yeah,
so
right.
I got up.
You can't stay up with the big boys. Yeah.
I smiled, and I got up, and I was just like, okay, all right. Yeah. I just walked out. But yeah, so that picture is hanging on my wall for sure, because that's just a classic shot. Yeah. I mean, it's just I'm going to have to show you guys one day. We're going to actually do a tour of my wall, because to kind of just give you an idea of what this wall looks like, I want you guys to take a look at this. That is a wall of just photos of me and all kinds of legends.
Next free for all, let's do it. Let's do it, man.
Including Mr. Michael Bland. He's up there. Of course, he's up there.
All right, yeah, I know. Let's dedicate a show to it one week, man.
Yeah, man. I've said, we need to do a Patreon only type of video that's just, where people will want to come in and check some of the stuff out. But yeah, man, it was. I've got stories for days, dude. It's just it's crazy. I mean, I've told you some stories offline that I've never told. I was just like,
and I've told you a few things myself.
We're gonna take those to the grave. Yeah, we'll take it to the grave. That is the funk wall. So congratulations. I'm working on it. Congratulations to Questlove. Because he has been nominated for 3 Emmys for Ladies and Gentlemen 50 Years of SNL Music, the special that he put together, for outstanding directing for a documentary nonfiction program. He also was nominated for an Emmy for SNL 50, the Homecoming Concert, for outstanding music direction. And he also was nominated for an Emmy for Sly Lives for outstanding documentary or nonfiction special. So let me just tell you, I'm proud of you, brother. It was really cool to have an opportunity to meet you. You would never remember meeting me. I got his picture over here though. But dude, I'm glad that you're doing it. I'm glad that you're keeping the torch lit for music, and especially our genre of music with funk and soul and it's just really, and that you're keeping things alive, like with Sly Stone.
Sure.
Because I mean, he created this documentary, and then a little bit later, Sly passed away. So congratulations to Questlove for real, because it's good that there's somebody out there that actually knows how to put this stuff together.
Yes, absolutely, man.
And when I suggested, I was just, when the Netflix documentary was going to be canceled, or was canceled, I said, what does anybody think about Questlove doing this documentary? And people lost their minds. Hell no, he can't. He's the same one that said, we talked about this too. He's like, same one that said that Prince stopped making good music in 1989.
Yeah, that's all right, man. I mean, all things being equal, it's easy to find beef with people, but
I know
the reality is that, I'm happy for the dude. I'm proud for him. I'm proud of him. Somebody's got to do it, and he has the resources to do it, and he's been faithful. Good for him, Yeah,
man, absolutely. Oh, you know what? I did mean that while you guys are here, this is the second week that we're kind of doing free-for-alls. We like doing free-for-alls for this very reason. There's not a whole bunch of prep that we have to do. We can just or that I have to do. It's kind of
I
like
was gonna say I don't do nothing but show up, man. They can know that.
And that's they're still prep. I mean, these
Yes.
slides just don't make themselves up. I'm not.
No, you do a lot of hard work, man. No, I'm saying
But
you're carrying the show, man. I'm just here for comic relief, really.
well, it's an honor because you're a hell of a co-host. Let me just say.
Well, thank you, man.
But I wanted to go ahead and let you guys know so that you can put it on your calendars, because we do actually have a special guest that we will have in the house in just a couple of weeks. So go ahead or a few weeks, go ahead and mark it on your calendars. Jesse Johnson is going to be joining us on August 12th.
Smoking the city.
Yes. So, and here's the thing. It's interesting about Jesse. The first time Jesse came on the show was myself and Jeff Page. The second time that Jesse came on, it was just me. And this is the third time that Jesse Johnson is coming on the show, and it will be me, you, and Jesse. So every single time that he's come in, it's been a different scope. So it kind of like spurs different stories because there's different dynamics going on. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Be sure that you tune in on August 12th. Again, put it on your calendars. Jesse Johnson is going to be right here with us on the show. So get ready. It's coming. So wow. Henry goes, can we see him this time? Yeah. And also both times he did not do the camera. I will ask again. I'll send him a text and I'll say, you might want, can you put on the video this time? Maybe.
I mean,
it'd
be nice, but I understand. Jesse's going to do what he wants to do. That's all right. He's Jesse. We're happy to get him.
That's right. Yeah. It's, it's an honor to have him on for sure.
Yeah. Whichever way. Seen or unseen.
Revolution 86 says, what happened to Jesse's new album? It's still being tweaked out. He's got a ton of songs. He's got a ton of music. He's killing it. And I think the thing about it is, if you tuned into the shows previously, especially when he was on before, he had mentioned that this next release is going to be 3 albums. It's a 3 thing. There's going to be if I remember correctly, it's going to be a funk album. It's going to be not a slow jam one, but something that's just more. There's going to be 3 different albums, and one of which is going to be like an audio book type of scenario. No written book on top of it, but an audio book type of things. But anyways, Jesse will be joining us, and which is going to be very, very cool. Also, I'll go ahead and get this out of the way too. If you are doing anything tomorrow, it was really, really good to hear from a lot of you. Obviously know Dr. Funkenberry. Funkenberry Jeremiah is going through a lot of stuff. He's battling cancer right now, and he's kind of doing updates. They've got they have a Patreon account. I mean, not a Patreon account, a GoFundMe account. So if you follow Funkenberry on anything, Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, go hit the GoFundMe account and help him out, because he is like, they are constantly chasing this cancer, like, and he's having problems with his foot. Now he's walking with a cane and a cast.
Oh, boy.
It's like, it's a battle. It's absolute battle. But which it was good to hear that tomorrow, Wednesday night, tomorrow, Funkenberry is doing a show. He hasn't done a show in a long time.
All right.
So he's going to be doing a podcast tomorrow night with Andrea Svensson, who is, it's crazy that I have all this stuff just sitting here.
Andrea used to be on The Current.
Yep.
And
she's also the author of, I'll take this out, obviously the author of this book, which is the beautiful, well put together Prince Purple Rain 40 Years, this book right here. But yeah, so it's him and Andrea Svensson and special guest. I don't know who those special guests would be. It's not me. But I mean, obviously we always want to support Funkenberry when he's out there, because he's been going through some rough stuff, and it's good. Tomorrow. Did that say where it was going to be? It just says live on. It just says, it doesn't say.
podcast.
I assume it's going to be on his socials, so just look in the socials. Jay, if you're watching, where can people tune into this? That wasn't on the doc. I'll send him a text and just say. Anyways, yeah, yeah. So it's good to know that he's out there kind of doing his thing, for sure. And what else was I going to say? Oh, you know what? Let's talk about this.
What are we talking about now?
Let's
get to.
I want to talk about this thing that I put out, that I released, that you and I were talking about. I had popped this up briefly a few shows ago, and everybody's like, "What was that?" And then we finally released it about the Revelation show.
Oh boy.
So I posted this thing about Revelation, and I didn't now I was not the first to do it. It was G Sharp that did it first. Well, I don't know if somebody did it before G Sharp, but I saw that it was officially posted on G's Instagram and his socials. And then I said, all right, well, Michael and I have tried to keep this under wraps, meaning that I had kind of pushed it out there real quick.
I told you, but I wasn't trying to tell anybody else.
Well, right. So that's the reason why I put it up.
Yes.
It's right. But now it's out there. It's official.
Oh, sure.
Tried to keep it under wrap. But when I put it out, it had a little bit of a pushback, and a lot of people were saying, "Oh, I thought that said revolution. Is this not a revolution thing?"
Sure.
And so then it just kind of just started spiraling from there. And apparently there was other stuff going on in the background. We don't have to talk about details of that unless you feel like you want to or whatever. But if we don't want to, that's fine. But the problem is that there were some people talking about the font and all this stuff. I'll let you speak. No.
Go ahead, man. You're doing it.
No. I feel like this is, your duck to hunt.
It's all right. A couple of people, got their, got grievances. So, it was not that big of a deal for me. As a matter of fact, I don't know even where to jump in exactly. But I will say this.
Let's start with the font. Well, let's start with
that's fine. There's not a whole lot to say. It's when you derivatives are a part of the marketplace. You're always going to borrow from things that inspire or conjure certain images in somebody's head. It's a matter of.
And here's the thing, and just so people are like, what's the big deal? Let me just go ahead and just kind of tap on it a little bit. The thing that people had an issue with was that that the name was so close to Revolution, and that B, that the font was the Purple Rain font, which kind of led people to believe, a lot of people, when they looked at it quick, they thought that says Revolution. And then of course, obviously it's very much a derivative of the Purple Rain font. Obviously, yes, it is. But I wanted to go ahead and clarify a couple of things. First off, this is what it looks like without. I'm sorry for those of you listening on the audio, you'll have to watch the video. But if you look and do a side-by-side comparison of the font that was used for Revelation along with this, you will see very distinct differences. First off, the R, it's connected on Revelation. The R is not connected in the actual Purple Rain font. So, and if you look at each individual letter, every single letter is different. Yes. Is it a derivative? Yes, it is, but it's not the Purple Rain font. And on top of that, anytime that you ever do something like that, maybe has a little bit of a print slant, a lot of people are doing this. A lot of people are using this. So it's kind of crazy that, you're being called on this when this is St. Paul's Minneapolis Funk All-Stars. They're using it on the Minneapolis Sounds thing.
But obviously the name is completely different.
Right.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, yes.
And the purple ones here, they did. This is a 2025 promo, and then Purple Rain, they've got it sitting here too. So all these guys have done it. And so,
but they're not me. And you know
you
what?
caught a lot of shit.
Well, I didn't catch a lot. And I'm not even saying it wasn't justified. I understand where certain people are coming from, which is why we just changed it. You know, no problem. Do you want to show the new font just so everybody can be satisfied?
I don't. You didn't send me to.
Yeah, I did. I pushed it right through your chat, but maybe you didn't get it.
The chat here
through your phone. But I guess you probably never.
Oh yeah, no, you did. Oh, I can probably pull it up on this. Okay, I remember now.
If you can, but I mean, no. All in all, listen. I'd like to start at the yes. There it is.
So,
and I love it. It looks like some Star Wars mess about to break out.
Right. Exactly. Yes, it's very different.
Yes, it's very different, and that's all right. But I'm just saying, it's like I don't feel like I really necessarily crossed the line, but I'm not interested in sowing division or making people upset. What I'm trying to do is create a unifying platform for all of us. Now, can I go on a bit of a
that's why we're here. Yeah,
all right, well, let me first start out with explaining why I'm even doing this. Because everybody knows there's about a dozen NPGs touring the continental US right now, and a few are in Europe.
Right.
It's an oversaturation. It's a matter the identity. Nobody knows who they're going to see.
True.
So I mean, I had it in mind. I was going to break away from using the moniker, the former members of the original new, like all of that wording and whatnot. I just needed to break free from it. And something in my mind said, the only way out is up. I've got to reach to a higher level. I've got to figure out a way to get this thing past the state lines and into the marketplace. If I'm going to sit here and be a local yokel, then that's one thing. But I think that somebody provoked me. I'll be 100% honest. Somebody provoked me. But the next time I see that person, I'm going to have to kiss them on the jaw. Because what they really did was they kicked me in my nether region and said, why don't you boss up and do something real for these people? Do something real for the fans. Sometimes I feel like some of us who, came from the Purple Kingdom, we were poor stewards. Like, we really allowed this thing to happen. You know what I mean? Like, we sat sort of idle while a lot of people there's so many Prince cover bands, right. So many. Some of them are pretty good. Some of them are completely lousy, but I feel like what I need to do at this point where we're like considering the fact that, Prince's legacy could be forgotten because young members of the Timberwolves haven't even heard of him. How you play for the Timberwolves? You're in Minnesota.
Right.
How do you not know who Prince is?
Right.
So that really got in my craw when I heard that. And I'm like, somebody needs to take an active stand on this. And I'll tell you this. I mean, we have certain people taking care of other things. I mean, I've made a few notes for myself because I didn't want to just give you a bunch of word salad.
No,
like they
it's
like
a good idea.
But there's an entity such as Purple Playground. Do you know about Purple Playground?
Yeah,
right.
I do.
Like they do free music programs for teens. I mean, it's a great resource. Love for one another. It's a charity. They're doing, what is the word I'm looking for?
Live for Love. Live for Love is Maite's now.
Oh, I'm sorry. She changed the name, didn't she?
No, wait, yeah. Well, Love for One Another still exists, but it exists with what's her name? His ex-wife.
Manuela.
Yes.
Okay.
For some reason I was drawing a blank.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so Live for Love is now Maite's. But yeah, they're all doing the same thing.
Everybody is basically trying. Those people are trying to continue Prince's philanthropic efforts and actually help people. PRN Alumni Foundation, same thing. They're like trying to come to the aid and the assistance of certain people who may have worked at Paisley, security, people who worked in the office, people who worked in administrative, positions and whatnot. Like there are people taking care of other people in Prince's name, but there is not a live entity. There's not a show. There's not a a musician. There's no consortium where all of us senior members of this thing, are working together or collaborating. And I really feel like the fans are the ones who are missing out, because while we got breath in our bodies, Prince is the tree and we're all branches. You know what I mean?
Are you willing to share? Because here's the other side of this that people don't see, and I think this is the other reason why people got their panties in a bunch.
We don't have to use that terminology.
I hate that. I know.
I'm not trying to.
I'm sorry for that.
I don't want to belittle these people. Some of these people I want to invite. I want everybody to feel welcome.
And I wasn't talking about the official side, but some of these people that just are online that aren't they don't have anything to do with the music community part of it. That just kind of they spiral out of control just to try to find something to get upset about. Those type of people.
Yes.
But one of the things is that if they were allowed, I'm glad that you changed the font, and you and I had this discussion offline, because I'm glad that you changed it, because I think that if people actually were able to peek behind the curtain and get a little taste of what this set list is, it has. You
want to show them what we're thinking about? I don't care.
Yeah, let me see if I can find the.
I think I emailed it to you at some point just to show you what we were looking at.
Yeah.
Bobby G, we're taking basically the Together model and we're expanding it. We're doing all the Minneapolis sound. We're doing everybody. We're doing Alexander O'Neill. We're doing Jesse. He doesn't want to be classified that way, but we're doing Jesse. We're playing The Time. We're playing Janet Jackson. Man, we're going all over the place, man. I'm not. The guardrails have been taken off. So we're repping Minneapolis like the Funk Brothers rep Detroit, like the Roots rep Philly. You know what I mean? It's along the same lines. Like, we need a collective,
Yeah, so let me give you a little bit of a taste, and this is not a set list. This is not a set list. This is kind of give you an idea of the pool of. I'm gonna have to pull up a different window. A pool. Is it okay for them to see your official email? I don't
care, because that. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And that's the other thing I was gonna say, that a lot of the grievance didn't even come to my doorstep, my phone, or my email. And I'm like, hey, listen, I'm an accessible person. I'm on the air at least once a week. There's no reason, if anybody in the universe has got beef with me and something I'm doing, come to me. I'm a man. We can talk about it like adults,
Right.
It's like all this speaking from the doldrums and whatnot. It's hard to respect that.
And let me give you, before I show this to you folks, I want you, and for those listening on Spotify, iHeartRadio, I'm going to read off some of these. Part of the reason why people, again, were a little bit feeling some sort of way was because it looks
they don't know much about it. Yeah.
And they're under the impression that you guys are going to be covering a bunch of Revolution songs, and that's not what's happening here. So that's another reason why it's warranted that you change the font, which is fantastic.
Absolutely.
Because here is a taste of the songs here.
Oh boy.
You have Shh in the mix. There's Pop Life in the mix, but you see other stuff here as well from the. Let me see if I can make this bigger.
It's changed since now. So.
Oh yeah, and you had.
This was where I kind of started. I was pushing things around.
Right. There's Wild and Loose and Girl from The Time in here. You also had Alexander O'Neill's Fake in here, Broken Heart Can Mend. You have Janet Jackson in here, Let's Wait a While. You even had Wendy and Lisa in here with Waterfall and Strung Out.
Oh yeah,
and Jesse Johnson stuff, and Michael Jackson stuff, and Maserati stuff in here. It is literally like an entire. It's an entire thing. So that's the reason why, it was important that kind of spiral happened, because it totally removes that perception of what's going on. And I like this. Yeah. It's so
okay. Great. Fantastic. So it's not an issue. I love everybody. I'm really trying to build a platform where we can all, if I get close enough, when we take this show to LA, if you don't think I'm going to ask Sheila, I'll ask Wendy and Lisa. I'll ask Kat Dyson. I'll ask Rhonda. I'll ask anybody who has a connection and has made a contribution to this music.
Absolutely.
My brothers too. Morris Hayes, Sonny, Levi. Levi will be in heavy rotation with this group. Sonny, I'll catch Sonny when I can get him. But these are my brothers, and I'm trying to put everybody on, man, and I'm trying to get everybody to be compensated in the manner they should be compensated. I'm trying to bring the fans something that they can't find anywhere else. So,
and a lot of people are asking, when are we looking at, and what locations are we looking at? I don't think you have anything. Do you have anything finalized, or?
I got one. We have one date that's actually confirmed. I don't want to say any more about it right now because we're trying to nail down Atlanta. We're trying to nail down. We're trying to nail down Louisville. I'm only playing in Live Nation venues. I'm trying to procure a real working relationship with a corporate entity who cares about things like this. So far, they've been very receptive. They saw the logo. They didn't blink twice, so nobody was saying, hey, man, I think that's a bad idea. I'm not above listening to Sound Council. And I'm also not above changing a very small thing if it means I can get on my way. I got the mission is bigger than that.
Yeah.
So like I said, we're working on Atlanta, Louisville, Chicago, and I think maybe Madison at like the Majestic Theater. We're trying to play there, Madison, nice. Wisconsin. So
that's Madison. That's kind of why Madison,
because I have friends there. I think there's a strong market for a show like this there, and I want to play. Well, I mean, I want to touch. That it's a college town. I want to touch places where I think that we have a good shot at selling out. Which is why I'm starting with the Midwest, except for Atlanta, really, or Louisville. I guess that's southern. That's south, isn't it? Barely.
Yeah, technically, it's kind of in between Midwest. It's kind of like
Just I like that theater. I want to test drive the show before I go into. There's nothing wrong with tertiary. It's not a tertiary market, but it's a little off the beaten path. But I got to see how this thing plays out. Also, I can't do everything in New York City until I got all the the bugs worked out and whatnot. I don't want to present and have people because that'll affect everything if we get to New York and we ain't on point. So. Let me stay in the weeds a little bit. I don't mind playing the little rooms, but the Majestic Theater is a great venue.
Yeah, I'm excited about seeing this show. And when you when you threw out the list of some of the songs that was going to be played or not necessarily played, because none of these were decided on, that I kind of rambled off to you guys. They had to figure out, is this really going to work or is this not going to work? And there's going to be a flow. And that if we played everything that you just saw on that list, it would be like a 4-hour show.
Yeah, we can't do it all. But, even now I'm having to take songs out because we're up to like 32. We got to do all this in 90 minutes. You know?
So I'm excited for it because I think I like that it hits on all those different things. The fact that Wendy and Lisa is in that mix and that they're going to be celebrated because, I am still so diehard about wanting to get Wendy and Lisa on the show. And I know people that know them and have direct contact with them on a regular basis. And I've been working on it. I've been trying so hard to get Wendy and Lisa on the show because I really feel like certain folks like that need to be celebrated for their contributions without such a purple umbrella over the whole thing, because they are such amazing writers and just musicians, and a lot of people just don't understand the level of their contribution to Prince's music and his process, and the amount of credit that they did not get for so many things that they absolutely should have gotten credit for. And not even to mention that, but I can pull out every single one of their CDs over here, and all of them are friggin' amazing. It's just, between Fruit at the Bottom and even it's just,
they're brilliant. They're brilliant. I'd love to see them come out. I'm sure they can ask their price, and I'm sure somebody at Live Nation will say no problem. And Wendy and Lisa can come on and they can do their thing. I got the baddest band anybody could hope for. I got Rick and Homer from Mint Condition, Fink, Barbarella, Bobby Gonzalez. He played with Sheila. He played with The Time. He played with Jesse. You know,
Mm.
I got some cats, man. We about to really, we're about to mix it up, man. We're going to a new level.
It's gonna be amazing. I can't wait for
Yes,
it.
sir. Thank you so much for your support too, man. I mean, it's I kind of drug you into my controversy. I got a little on you, man. I didn't mean for that to happen.
And I'm all about it. I told you that, when we had the conversation about how this conversation could have gone,
Yes.
especially when we were in the heat of the moment, I was just like, I said,
Yeah.
my bags are packed. I've
got
got
you,
you no
man.
matter what. I got you no matter which way you go. I'll walk with you, brother.
Yes, but it's bigger than my man feelings and my it's bigger than all that, man. And you actually helped me to really clear my mind and get focused on what's important. And what's important is the mission. And the mission is to give these people who we all miss Prince, but I think those of us who are really close to the source and some of us natives of Minneapolis, is my town, man. I never lived anywhere else in my whole life. I never had to. There's so much, so much music, I mean, one of the only artists I haven't worked with from Minnesota is Bob Dylan. I work with Paul Westerberg from The Replacements. I'm in Soul Asylum. Prince,
you played with, did you play on Paul Westerberg album? Which what
the album I played on was called Eventually.
I worked in a Rekisto. It was, I can't even remember the name. Was it Camelot? It was like one of the ones that was in a mall. It was in South Lake Mall in Southwest Atlanta. And for some reason, I guess the owner of that record, first off, the record store itself was smack in the middle of, it was a low income community. But it was, the guy that owned it was this old white guy, and he liked Paul Westerberg, and he played the shit out of this one album like it was on repeat, like all the time. And it got to the point when I first heard it, I was like, I don't really like this. But then after hearing it like a half a dozen times, I was just like, okay, I get. And it was almost like Tony Tone was the same way with Sons of Soul. I was like, there's some things I'm just not really getting on here. But then after hearing it repeated, it's like, oh, okay, I understand.
Yeah. Some music has to grow on you, man.
And I wonder if you were on that Paul Westerberg album that got played. What year was that?
I could have been. I was on a record he released in 1996. I actually recorded with him in Studio B at Paisley. He was working in there, and he's such a character. He had the assistant engineer was sitting in a chair in front of the studio door, so nobody would come in. And I think it was this guy named Fred. I wish I could remember Fred's last name right now. But Fred I said, what are you doing out here? He said, Paul wants somebody watching the door because he doesn't really want anybody just walking in to the studio. I said, okay, I got you. I understand. And I took a lap. I came back, and I think Fred had gone to the bathroom. So I just went right in. I go in, Paul's sitting in there. Hey, hi. I said, hi, man. I said, my name is Michael Bland, and I'm a fan of your work, man. And he's like, where'd you get those clothes? They make them upstairs. So we start talking about fashion. And it was really, we hardly spoke about music. And then he said, I got a couple songs that need drums. You want to do some playing? I said, yeah, man, absolutely. So I had Magoo drag a kick, snare, and hi-hat and the floor tom and one crash cymbal into Studio B. And we just did it. We did one track that day, and I came back the next day and I did another one for him.
Wow.
One song's called My Century, and the other one is called Time Flies Tomorrow. And they're on a record called Eventually.
I'll have to look and see if that was the album. I don't know that I ever saw the album cover, but I heard it. So I'll have to play it. But yeah,
no, Paul is really great, man. I mean, he's from all the stuff you think he's from, the Ramones and whatnot. But this is a dude, I went to his house for the first time. I went in the bathroom, and there's a huge poster of Thelonious Monk on the wall. I find out this dude is a jazz aficionado. Like he's giving me books about Lester Young, and I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about that.
That's all right.
Who's calling me from New Orleans? I don't know nobody down. Oh, I know a couple people down there. Anyway, I'll get back to it. Yes, I'm looking around, and he's just like he is not what all these like people who think he's like, they think he's like his music is, and a part of him is like that. But he's a very astute, well-read musician. His favorite song, he told me his favorite song of all time is "I Want to Be Your Man" by Roger.
Wow.
Nobody would ever imagine that.
No.
He said, that is my favorite song. I love that song.
Wow. That's crazy.
So he's not who everybody thinks he is, but he's an incredible person to hang out with. He's a generous person. He's very funny. But he's a bit reclusive. Like we don't talk very often.
There's a lot of artists that are like that, where you listen to the music and you get this perception of the type of music that they listen to. There's a guy that a lot of people may know, but you probably don't. A guy named Bob Schneider.
Well, it depends on which Bob Schneider it is.
Well, he is like a rocker. He also plays in a band called Ass Knockers. He's
okay.
Well, no, he does a lot of different things, but Bob Schneider is, I didn't realize there was two Bob Schneiders, but he is he's got this one album called Californian, and he's amazing. Anyways,
right.
But he also is one of those types of guys that just like, if you look a little bit deeper, he's like celebrating all these artists that you're just like, well, I can't believe you listen to that. It's like surprising.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you know what? I actually thought about doing, I'm considering the possibility of doing a completely different other Minneapolis sound band that like focuses on like the college rock and then like the rockers from town. I mean, I know there's still somebody somewhere who wants to see Dave Pirner and Paul Westerberg on the same stage together. There's a Minneapolis kind of traveling Wilburys sort of thing that could actually be put together if everybody was interested. I don't know that Paul would be interested in something like that, but it's come to me like maybe I should do another type of thing that celebrates the rest of it. Because I mean, when you talk about the Minneapolis sound, pretty much people think of Prince and and the rest of us, Terry and Jimmy, so on and so forth. But that whole other side is it's still active and alive here,
I wanted to look up, you reminded me of something, and we've talked about how our brains work. And I'm trying.
We're inviting everybody. They're not all going to say yes. Did I say we're inviting everybody? Everybody.
Oh, and just so
what about Andre and Des? Yes, everybody will get an invite.
Okay, just so you know, Andre has been on the show a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
And Des, I talked to offline. I talked to Des, and he basically said, I'm just kind of taking a break from interviews right now. He's actually teaching at some college or something at the moment. Andy Allo has been on the show. She actually did a takeover when she released Superconductor. She actually did a takeover of the radio station, which that's a good segue. Take over the radio station, where she took over the radio station for an hour and played all the songs that had inspired her to become a musician. And she dug deep into a bunch of different things. And that was called the Andy Allo Takeover, and she did that. Judith Hill, I've talked to multiple times, including in person when I went to go see her the last time that she was in Atlanta. And I said, come on the show. She's like, yeah, just reach out to me. And it's like, okay. That has happened like multiple times. And
sure, people are busy, man. I get it. I don't think anybody means to disrespect you.
No. And I wasn't saying like that, but it's just like some people just, I think that they hear people say stuff like that all the time, like, oh, come on my podcast or hey, we should. I think people are just, when you meet so many people on a regular basis, you're kind of like, you have to just have this self-filtering thing goes on unless you really connect. And Judith and I can tell you, even though we were talking in front of each other, you could tell there was a disconnect. It was just like filler talk, Filler talk. Okay, nice to meet you. Yeah, nice to meet you too.
It's all right.
You know,
We're not all,
I know.
magnetic personalities. Everybody can't be like me. They can't just
No, what I
ooze
was-
with charm and
Nobody can be like Michael Bland.
nobody wants to be like me, man.
Well,
I ain't nobody special.
You know, the other thing too that what I was trying to find, the link about this list that I had found online about things that were in the vault. And we had talked about this briefly. We had talked about stuff that was in the vault and the fact that Dave Pirner had 3 albums that were sitting in the vault. And
Yes.
you had mentioned like, I don't know what those were. And I think you mentioned you actually played on them too.
I don't think I played on any of that. No, I'm sure I didn't play on any of that.
Because I thought it said it was like every single one was like a variation of Prince and David Pirner. So it said like DPP. I can't remember what it was. That's the reason why I was trying to find the link. There was something, but you said no, it wasn't Prince. It was somebody else.
There's definitely there was definitely a tape that had Paul Westerberg and Dave Pirner's name on it, and it said it was a Chuck Berry. It's a Chuck Berry tribute.
Yes.
That one I know. I told Pirner about that one actually. I don't know if he did anything about it or not, though.
Renato Neto's open interview. Let me say, I have been trying to get Renato Neto on the show for years. I have sent him multiple emails, reached out via socials, and if you know Renato and can help get him on, please put him in touch with me. I've been, when Rainbow Children came out, I was like, wow, if there was anybody that could play with the smoothness and flow that Prince had, that really it's closely matched with him as far as his flow that I had ever heard, it was Renato Neto.
Yeah.
He just had this flow that was like, wow, that's impressive. That's it's like so impressive that you were actually impressed that Prince allowed him to play.
Yeah, right.
Because it was like, you could overshadow him, dude.
I know
like,
what you mean. Yeah.
You're like that good.
I think that, you know what? Somebody, it might have been Terry Lewis or Jimmy who said, they were asking like, well, how come if Sonny was such an influence on Prince, how come he wasn't in the band sooner? And one of them was like, can you imagine being in a band with your mentor? Like, you got to be psychologically ready for something like that. I think by the time Prince thought he was, he had reached a certain point in his own career, I think he let his guard down a bit. Even with us, he gave us a lot of freedom, and I think that, it got paid forward to Renato and Cat and Mike Scott, all those guys. I think they benefited from Prince, entering this phase where he began to trust his musicians more with his music. I think he always did with certain people, but I mean, I don't think there was ever a situation. The original MPG may be the only band that recorded with Prince as a band and toured with Prince as a band. Like everything, it's the same group, both places. You know what I mean?
I meant to ask you about this, and because you just sparked again. Here's how our brains work.
Yeah, go, man. Go.
I meant to ask you about. I meant to ask you about Lotus Flower, and I think also, or was it Planet Earth? Maybe it was Planet Earth. I think one of them. I think Planet Earth. Yeah, Planet Earth just recently had its anniversary. I can't remember which one it was.
Okay.
But Planet Earth was released July 15th of 2007. So that would be 18 years ago. And I was always curious as to the fact that you left the band in the 90s pretty much. And then you had this break. And then all of a sudden you're appearing again on Planet Earth. I don't think I ever got the full story as to what was the story on how he reached back out to you, or did just kind of happen to merge again? How did you getting back into the mix of this transpire?
I mean, the short answer is Prince played Baby Knows from the Raven to the Joy.
Sheila E. was also not Sheila E.
Sheryl Crow.
Show Crow.
Prince played that for Morris Hayes, and Morris Hayes said to Prince, he said, "This is hot, Prince, but you know what would push this over the top would be if we got Bland on the drums." And Prince and we had seen each other in public here and there. It was always awkward because he he fired us, so it's like when you see people you had spent a lot of time around, but then it's like, but the circumstances are tense around how you left it. So we had a couple uncomfortable meetings.
Really? I didn't hear about the uncomfortable meetings. I mean,
just where like he'd show up like at Bunkers and he'd be like, "Oh, hey, how's it going, man?"
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
That sort of thing. Not like I'm at Paisley going, not anything formal. I mean, as actually, I don't know if I should tell this particular story. It was very.
I got the scroll running. We're good.
Oh no, it's not even about that. It's just
that's good.
I don't know how it might come off because it's just a simple fact that somebody else was sitting in on drums at Bunkers, and I was leaning on the pool table, and I guess I had my back to Prince. I didn't know he was in the room, and he comes up, he sidles up next to me, and he gave me a wet willy.
You gotta be shitting me. Prince gave you a wet willy at Bunkers?
Yes. Prince put his DNA in my ear.
You have never told that story. I
Yeah, I used to care what people would think about certain things that I don't care anymore.
No, that's 56. Hilarious. It's not. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no reason to be embarrassed by that. That is freaking hilarious. Did anybody see it? What had happened?
I don't think so. I was like, "What the?" And he's like, "Hey." Like, "Hey, man, what's up, man? Like, I don't really want you sticking your wet finger in my ear, dude. What is that?"
Yeah, that's crazy. Now, was this in between the time that you left and came back for this?
Yes, and then then in 1999, basically, is when Morris called me and he said, "Man, the man wanted me to call because he didn't know how receptive you'd be." I said, "Yeah, sure, no problem. You tell me when, man. I'll be there."
Yeah, that's crazy.
And from there, we were, fast friends, from then till whenever, But yeah,
it's crazy. It's just so how he's just that's gonna. Yeah, I already see people are gonna use that clip. Sorry, brother, that's happening.
I mean, unless we go
viral first.
Yeah, we want to go viral. Sure, why not? I don't care. I'm not. It's not nothing on me. This is just a thing that happened.
I mean, just make sure that you link to Funkatopia. If I catch any of y'all making the clip and you guys don't link to Funkatopia, we're gonna have Michael and I are gonna have some problems.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't just take it and do what you want. You better show where that came from. Phantomus Phantom.
Yeah, we're watching you. We're watching you.
That's right.
All right, so let's. I know we're running close on time here, so we only got about 20 minutes left in this. I got a really important issue that I need to talk to y'all about.
Yeah, come on, man.
So listen, the app is getting updated. The website is getting updated. As you guys, well, not the website, but the radio station is being updated. I did not. I already talked to some of the people on Patreon about this. So if you're a Patreon supporter, you know what's up already, kind of. But let me put that up here too. Matter of fact, if you wanted to support Funkatopia, please do so at patreon.com/Funkatopia, because we have a lot of expenses that happen with the show. This is not a typical podcast of just somebody I do a lot of stuff. We have the website at funkatopia.com.
Yeah.
We have not only the server cost, we have the radio station that's running that I've been paying ASCAP licensing fees for. We have the server that runs the radio station. We have the server that runs the thing. It's everything. It's keeping everything up to date. It's making sure that it's a lot, and it's a lot of money. And that's the reason why the Patreon supporters are there, because if it wasn't for the Patreon supporters, this probably would have been done a while ago. But the other part of this too is that Funkatopia is here to support musicians and to support artists. And it's very, very difficult to do that and also be kind of taking money out of their pockets at the same time.
Right.
And the problem is that most of all of Prince's library is on global music rights, GMR. That's the acronym for global music rights. So they pretty much have Prince's catalog. Now, obviously, what does that have to do with what was those other guy's name? I don't know, but there's music licensing that happens, and Prince is part of the global music rights catalog. I wish that I kind of knew, and we thought, and for a long time, we've had ASCAP licensing all this time, but now we have licensing with global music rights. So trying to make sure that when we play Prince's music, that everything gets taken care of. And all these little songs that we're kind of falling outside, want to make sure that everything that we're doing it legally, and we're doing it by the books, because we want to continue to grow. And that's part of this process, is making sure that we are legal. And that being the case, there's going to be some changes coming down the mix. I'm sorry, I should have put up the Funked Up logo.
Yes.
So the app, for those that don't know, we have an app called Funked Up, FUNKEDUP. That's for the audio people on Spotify and iHeartRadio. I had to spell it out. It's like, why is he reading to me? It's right here on the screen. Well, some people aren't seeing a screen. But the licensing is not cheap. This is not cheap. It's like thousands of dollars. It's a mess.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot. But on the same note, it's either we've had to pay for the licensing, or we have to pay for the licensing, or the radio station goes away. It's just gone. And I don't think you guys want that. I'm pretty sure nobody wants that.
No, nobody wants that.
So I set up a GoFundMe because I've already done it. I've already got the contract from Global Music Rights. It's already done. So, but it'd be good if I could kind of get a little bit of help. That would be really, really helpful, because we're obviously want to make everything legal. So if you could help out as part of this process, I would really appreciate it. You should go to funkatopia.com/help. It's made it simple.
Yes.
FUNKA. Remember, there's an A in there. FUNKATOPIA.com.
Yes, sir.
/help. That will take you right to the GoFundMe page. It's set low. It's only set for a couple grand, which basically pays for the retroactive licensing that I have to pay, the retroactive, and also this year coming up. And then every year I'm going to have to pay for it, but I'm not going to be doing any type of GoFundMe for the years moving forward. It's just the fact that we had to do the retroactive licensing and the licensing, everything all at once. It was just like it was a punch to the face. It's like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to make sure that, you guys know that this change is coming. And as part of this change, that money for that licensing for global music rights is per station. So right now we currently we offer 2 radio stations that you guys are seeing. One of them is gone. Mm-hmm. One of them, matter of fact, the update may hit your phone. And even if you refuse the update, it's not going to change anything, because the one radio station is going to go away. And the one radio station that was going to go away is the 24/7 Prince one. That is the free one. The one that's freely available. Mm-hmm. The not Uptown Plus, the one that's freely available, that will go. So one that's going to remain standing is going to be the Funked Up one. And the reasoning for that is because Funkatopia is about supporting all artists and all musicians. And that means we need to make sure that we're playing the latest Bootsy Collins and all the old school classics, and make sure all the artists and everybody in the funk realm is all taken care of, and they're in this mix. And so we're going back to the funked up format. There will just be the one radio station that will just be all the artists, but I understand. So we will still have, like we used to do back in the day, the big Prince blocks. So like the 6 to 12 Prince blocks and things like that. So that will still, it will just be merged because we cannot afford 2 radio stations. We can't afford 2 radio stations. So they have, so we can only do one, and it needs to be one that's going to be representative of all the funk artists, all the stuff that we have. So, it's going to be a mess. So, you know, when you talk about the the retroactive stuff and the stuff to pay for the year, it's not cheap. It's not cheap to be, because it's not just, again, and it's not just the global music rights. I'm still paying the ASCAP licensing fees also. The global music rights stuff takes care of the Prince stuff and all, like a lot of current artists. They've got everybody on there, Anderson .Paak and all that. And that licensing is included with GMR, but there's a bunch of them that are on ASCAP. And so I'm actually going to have to go through the process too of taking some of these artists out that aren't represented by this or that, because there's other ones too, BMI, CSAC, all these other instances. Like, look, I want to do everything I possibly can to stay legal and make sure that we're playing by the graces. And obviously GMR was a must because they had Prince's catalog. So there was like no way around it. You know, if you're going to be playing hardcore Prince, you got to have that licensing.
Yes.
And so that was a must. That was a must.
Sure.
So funkatopia.com/help. Again, funkatopia.com/help. We'll take it to the GoFundMe page. If you can help out, please do. On the alternate side of that, even though that GoFundMe exists, you want to become a member of the community, patreon.com/funkatopia, patreon.com/funkatopia, because what they're doing, what the Patreon community, the Funkatopia community that's there is doing, is they're helping to pay for, and that's what we're using for the ASCAP licensing and all this other stuff. So if I lose power, is because we have a storm that's, I guess I'm hearing thunder and stuff.
Okay.
And I saw some flickering. So if I get kicked out,
you know, it happened to me once. So
yeah, I know. So if I drop off, that means that, you know,
it's over. I can go. Yeah.
You can just keep talking because you'll still be here.
Really?
You'll still be here. I won't. You'll still be here. I'll end up dropping off.
I don't know if you should trust me with this show by myself.
Well, I'll just join via my phone, which is not reliant on all this.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens.
But anyways, yeah. So funkatopia.com/help. If you want to help specifically with this to kind of help keep it legal, is so great. It's already done. It's already paid for, but by me. But it's on a credit card.
Sure.
It's not, I didn't write a check for it.
Independent businessman. I got you, man.
So if you guys can help out, that would be really, really great. And again, even joining Patreon at patreon.com/funkatopia, that helps in the exact same way, but it's a monthly thing and you can do it at a smaller thing. And
sure,
it's, and you get gifts and files and early access to stuff and really, really cool shit. So, anyways, that's the whole diatribe on that. Okay. And it's going to be changing. The one radio station is going to be going away, and it's just going to be funked up. People are asking about Uptown Plus and whether that will be affected. No. So I'll just leave it at that. But just know we're legal.
Yes. We don't want no drama. We don't want no trouble now.
That's what that's the other thing too, is it's like just trying to make sure that we stay legal and
sure.
and keep things on the books and above board. And so that's kind of where we're at.
Absolutely, man. Yes.
So that took longer than I wanted, and I wish I'd had it scripted out, but I didn't.
No, it's a free for all, man. just speak, man. Just speak life. It's all right.
Yeah, man. But so to kind of encapsulate everything for the night, it's been great. We love hanging out with you guys for sure. Absolutely. It's always great when you guys come and hang out with us. I mean, it's always amazes me to see so many people out here just willing to come in on a Tuesday night and hang out and talk the mix. Yes, Prince songs will still be in the mix on the remaining station. Yes, not the 24/7 one though. So, Not that one. But again, we're going to do still the massive Prince blocks and all that stuff is still happening. And Uptown Plus for the Patreon supporters is still in the mix. So,
hey, do you mind if I just kind of
sure
direct people to the Revelation, like the social, I mean, we're on IG. I just set up the site a few days ago, or the not site, but the page, the IG page. I believe it's Revel _Asian 0909. I believe that's the IG. And also I'm on Facebook as Revel Asian. Somebody just take a look for me, or take a look for Revelation. It's the website will probably be up this week. So,
nice. Well, I mean, just let us know. We could definitely post it on all the Funkatopia socials to make sure that everybody knows what's going on.
Yeah, if you don't mind, man. I'm not trying to.
No, I don't mind at all. Absolutely.
Okay. It's your house, brother. I'm just saying. I want to be respectful.
Revolution 86. Who is the next guest on the show? Well, right now, as it stands, we are doing a free for all next week. Also, and we may end up taking a Tuesday off, because we haven't taken a Tuesday off in months. We have not taken a Tuesday off.
You know what?
So every now and then we kind of need to try to take a step back and go.
I am going to need a Tuesday off, man. I will talk about it offline.
Yeah, and it may be next Tuesday, but it may be next Tuesday. But the guest that we do have on the books that I can tell you about is Jesse Johnson. Jesse Johnson will be here August 12th. So Jesse's going to be on the show. He's going to be talking about the tour that he's doing. And, Jesse, he's just not going to just come in and say, hey, I just want to tell you about the show.
He's going to tell us all about it. I'm ready.
Yeah. It's going to be, it's a whole thing. Mm-hmm. So when Jesse's on the show, it's there's going to be some talking and stories. And so, there you go. Jesse Johnson, August 12th. That's the next person that's on the list.
You see Heidi Hackseth already, she already got. She just followed me. There you go. Just so you know where to go.
Yeah, Revolution says on camera. We don't know if Jesse will be on camera or not. Don't expect it. 2 out of 3 times he has not.
If he hasn't before, he probably won't this time.
But if he does, he might come on. I'll talk to the powers that be and see if we can kind of make it happen.
Okay, great.
But I know that he likes to sit and play guitar and just kind of just be in the moment, and he doesn't want to focus on what he looks like on camera while he's just fiddling around. Because every time he's been on the show, he has you can hear him playing guitar the whole time. You can hear him twiddling around the whole time. So so there's that. Yeah. So there you go. If you want to follow Revelation on Instagram, there it is. It's REVEL _ATION 09 on Instagram.
Yeah, come on and join us there. I'll be talking about. Give me another week or so. We'll probably start discussing the dates we have this fall.
Yeah, that'd be nice. And of course, go ahead and download the Funked Up app 24/7. It says ASCAP license. I need to update the scroll because it's now not only ASCAP license but global music rights licensed also.
Well, all right. Well,
so it's a licensed radio station, and I can tell you right now, most of the stations that you're hearing out there are not licensed. They're just playing music to play music, which is fine. I mean, we love that, but you got to take care of those musicians, man. You got to keep them in the pocket.
Yes. Absolutely.
And there you go. And again, download it. Please help us out. Funkatopia.com/help. Again, FUNKATOPIA.com/help to kind of help us kind of offset the licensing that we just kind of take a hit on. Mm-hmm. And then of course you could always join the community too at patreon.com/Funkatopia as well.
Yes, sir.
Because we need all the help we can get.
Yeah.
It's nothing's cheap. Oh my God. Just if you could have saw the back and forth between me and Global Music Rights and some of the numbers that were getting tossed back and forth based on different types of things, it was like, oh boy, I was just like reeling. I was just like, oh, how are we gonna do this? So it was crazy. It was mess. And
I believe the people will come to your rescue, man.
I think they will. They will.
They like us. They want to see us continue to
that's right.
thrive and flourish and whatnot.
I would hope so. I would hope so.
Come on. $10 even. Come on, y'all.
Yeah, and here's the thing. It's interesting that you say this. Erica says creating a handle on TikTok. I do have a Funkatopia channel on TikTok, but the problem is with TikTok is that it doesn't allow you to create a live feed unless it's like pow. You can't you can't like program it. Like we use StreamYard, which allows you to connect to various things, but I have to like create it like on the fly right when I'm about to do it, and it's like all this extra stuff.
Yeah.
I was curious though when I was sitting there working, and I'm just like, this view right here is pretty much me like a majority of the day. And if I had the camera running and I was just talking and being ridiculous and telling jokes and whatever, would anybody even be interested in watching that? I mean, just us being chatterboxes and just kind of talking and whatever. I wonder if people would because, and here's the only draw to the reason for that thought process is because with TikTok, you can actually make good money if you can get viewers to kind of watch your live and engage in your live.
Yeah.
And I know we're obviously late to this camp, but would that be something that somebody would actually watch if we were just kind of just chilling and
just only one way to find out.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out. I mean, if this was just like randomly out there, it's just like, yeah, okay, there you go. You got a bunch of followers on Instagram. I see.
Yeah, thank you for allowing me to announce it. Yeah, I need more followers.
All day, every day.
Yes.
And again, if you missed any part of the show, you can tune into Spotify, iHeartRadio, whatever tomorrow. Obviously, as soon as we're done with this all goes out to YouTube and Facebook and X. You'll be able to see everything from the beginning, especially if you missed a part of the show. You can, as soon as we're done, you can go right over and get it. Meanwhile, we'll probably see you. I don't know if we're going to see you next week or not.
Hey, let's play it by ear, man.
We're gonna play it by ear because there's a lot of lines in the water. And a lot of times we say, no, we're not going to be here next Tuesday. And then somebody will call and go, hey, so-and-so wants to come on the show. And you're like, okay, all right, here we go. There you go. There it is. But I am Mr. Christopher. This is Michael Bland. I hope you guys had another fun evening tonight. We certainly enjoyed hanging out with you and sharing new stuff and a bunch of stuff to talk about. We always got, and
how about that, man? We never know what's going to happen.
And it's always surprises me that we can always manage to do 2 hours relatively easy.
Yeah, it's not a lot of heavy lifting, man. It's it's
Oh my gosh, yeah. And we need to do, we'll definitely do a review of the Sign of the Times at IMAX because I'll have to get a ticket and see it.
Great.
I'll have to get and see it.
Yes, sir.
But guys, hope you guys had a good night. We will see you soon, some point.
Soon, yes. See you soon.
See y'all later.